Welcome to the What Now with Jeff Weber. I'm happy to be your host. And let me tell you a little bit about the show. My guests come from all corners of the music business and the entertainment business as we examine careers and perspectives from the inside out. To have a career in our business takes a lot more than simply being amazing at what you do. And with the world in our business being in such a swirling cyclone of trepidation, uncertainty, and outright speculation, we try to answer the question on all of our minds: what now? I am thrilled and delighted to have one of our international artists with me, Kalena Haireka. Kalena is a 19-year-old singer currently living in Sydney, Australia, and is extraordinarily talented both as a songwriter, a singer, and a piano player. I met Kalena at a talent contest where she did quite well, winning her category, and we decided to work together. I twisted her arm, and she's still recovering, but she agreed that it would be time to really come out swinging as an artist of today. And what's interesting is that artists are getting younger and younger and younger. It used to be that you wouldn't start your career until you're kind of out of your teens, but that's not the case anymore. So welcome, Kalena, and thank you so much for your time. I just wanted to ask you a question. Do you get nervous right before a show?
Oh, definitely.
So what do you do?
Definitely. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know if I'm the only singer who does this or musician, but I think everyone has their own routine that they do. Like at a certain point, personally, I'll like have a little prayer just beforehand. That's just me. Or I'll just like, I think visualize yourself on the stage before you get on, just so I don't know, mentally you can prepare a bit more. I usually imagine my grandparents in the audience. Yeah, I don't know. It always just calms me down because they're just, yeah, imagine their faces smiling at me. I don't know. Yeah. Or
do you like to see people before the show? Do you want to be quiet? I mean, you're a young artist. You haven't experienced, hula. But is it more important to kind of like just be a chill, just get out of the frantic nature of things for just a few minutes, so you can center yourself and focus on what's to come?
I think it definitely depends on how prepared you're feeling. For example, for the show, if you've practiced enough on a song, you won't really have anything to stress yourself out about. But for example, if I'm going into a performance and I know I haven't prepared enough, because singing is so psychosomatic. So if you believe that you're not going to make any of the notes in the song before you go on stage, you're not going to make them. But just in terms of nerves, I think I personally I can't be alone. I like being around other people to kind of distract me in a way, or just, I don't know.
You're a 19-year-old psychologist. I'm telling you right now.
You think? How so?
Well, because,
oh God, sorry.
You already recognize that if you mentally are worried about your performance will suck. But if you think that you're amazing, your performance will be amazing. I don't know too many 19-year-olds that have already sussed that out.
It's very mental, I think, because singing, you can't see any of the notes you're playing. It's not like guitar. It's not visual. It's all internal. So I think, you have to trust yourself a lot.
Well, let's talk about that. You and I are going to go in the recording studio next year, and we're in the process of selecting the material and having you write the material. Are you enjoying the pre-production stages of this thing where we meet once a week and we go over new songs all the time? Kalena has a great work ethic. She's constantly pushing out songs. Where do these songs come from? Okay, let me know a little bit more of how your writing process goes.
My writing process is usually starts as something more therapeutical. So if I'm going through, I don't know, a rough time trying to, I don't know, with either a boy or a friend or any just a situation, for example, coronavirus, I find it healing to write about it. Even if it's not a song, it's just how I'm feeling. That's usually how a song starts. I'll have lots and lots of different files of just notes and pieces of paper with just maybe even just 3 lines. And I think I'll go
Mhm.
back to them and kind of build off of them in a
Right now,
way.
you create a journal, right?
A journal. Oh yeah. Yes, I do actually. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I have a journal where I write down my dreams after I sleep.
Oh,
And I also
interesting.
have a I don't know if you knew that, but I have a diary as well. Um,
Ah,
I rely on my diary a lot. I have since I was really a little girl.
do you get
Um,
songwriting ideas from the diary?
definitely, definitely, because you'll look at the date and you'll see. I'll just write about how my day was and what happened, and it's really good to just flip through it and I don't know, grab ideas out of it. It's good. It's good stimulus to have, but I don't know if I've told you about the dream journal, but
I
that's
don't know about that
also
one, but
really good.
I do you write stuff down when you're really pissed off at a guy?
Yeah, yes.
That's going to be a good song.
Uh, I hope so. You always say after any breakup means good music is
Good music
coming.
is coming.
You mean,
You know,
thank you.
because with you, you're such a happy individual. I'm going to have to ruin all your relationships until after the recording. You know that, right?
Oh my goodness. It's for the music. We'll take a good
It's
sacrifice.
for the music. It's for the good of the, you know.
All for the
I
music.
wanted to, do you have a set time of the day when you sing? Because we're always talking about keeping your voice lubricated and just kind of keep that muscle active. Do you just,
Mm.
what is your process for, just singing every day?
I think vocal scales are very important, definitely,
Mm,
because you need to continue that muscle memory with your voice because it's very easy to lose, and then you'll wake up one morning and you won't be able to reach the notes you usually can. But personally, for me, I find it easier to work on technique only for 10 minutes, just because sometimes you can get carried away with your vocal exercises and I don't know, I'm a perfectionist. So I just 10 minutes, just scales. I do that usually at 10 o'clock on a Saturday. Oh, actually, no, we have a meeting at Saturday. Maybe usually 11 o'clock on a
mm,
Saturday or the weekend. But in
mm-hmm,
the mornings, I prefer to do it before I go to work because after I come back from work, I've been talking so much because
mm,
I'm a
right.
receptionist, so I'm always on the phone and my voice is tired and you don't want to put more strain on it. So I like to do warm ups in the morning so that when I go to work, my voice is kind of ready to, take calls and things. But
Right.
yeah, it's different for everybody, I think.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
So what's interesting though is that you're also a student at Berkeley School of Music here in Boston, and
Yeah.
that whole environment, that educational environment, how does that shift your creativity? I mean, you're around a lot of other people.
Mm.
Does that help you, or is there too much noise? I mean, I know that we've talked about this, and that if you have a great roommate, or if things can go better. If you have a shitty roommate, your life is crap. you know, so uh,
Yeah.
being in that environment, how does that shape your writing? Do you find yourself more educational and less emotional? What goes on there?
I think first of all, it depends where you are mentally before you start
Mm,
college at a school such as Berkeley. If you're not confident, it's very easy to be around a lot of different voices, a
mm,
lot of different people who are really inspiring and they're pushing towards their dreams. And if you're mentally not confident to put yourself out there, it's easy to lose your voice amongst everyone else's. So it starts mental, I think. I don't know, just from my experience, that's how I felt. But also in terms of being more educational, that depends on your major, I believe. And I think with Berkeley, what you put into the school, so like if you're studying, I don't know, music business, I believe that you're gonna be having a lot of different experiences educationally as someone who's doing performance.
Is there a sense
Yeah.
of competition between people in your classes? I mean, is there kind of more
Uh,
competition than creativity, and between people in the class? Is there this urge to kind of
hmm.
be better than someone else, or just are you okay going with your at your own pace, doing your own thing?
Honestly, I think something that surprised me so much about Berkeley is I don't really think people were competing. If you're competing at a school like Berkeley, you're never going you're never going to get anything out of it. It's not about competing with anyone.
Mm,
I think you rely on people. You rely on people to make you better. You rely on people so that you can learn from them. Everyone is kind of, they want to collaborate and they want to help each other out. It's not really, I think, I don't know, with everything, there's going to be a subtle competition lingering there that you'll feel, but it won't be like, I'm getting this solo next week and you're not. Like, I'm going to
right.
win. I'm going to get this. It's nothing like that. And that's what I really like about the school. It's
Perfect.
more, everyone really does support each other a lot. Even if they don't, even if they've missed an opportunity, they'll support you, I think. But yeah, it's very group orientated, I think.
I love that. I love that
Yeah,
because
me
we're
too.
in such a we're in a business where very few people succeed to the next level. It's good to know that there is this kind of bubble of creativity and people wanting to help each other. Doesn't really happen like
Mm.
that in real life, but
Oh, oh no.
you know, but that's why the music business is made up of 100% judgment 100% of the time. Every singer is judged all the time on what she sounds like, what she looks like, what the songs are about, what she's
Mm.
wearing, who she's with, on and on. And you can get destroyed for a lot of different things having nothing to do with your music. So I'm glad to hear that your experience at Berkeley was more constructive rather than judgmental. Uh, when you take classes in songwriting, uh, do you find that the focus is on structure, form, rather than emotional content or things like that?
Unfortunately, I was only able to do one songwriting class when I was at Berkeley. I love the songwriting department. I think there are a lot of other areas that delve into, yeah, emotion more specifically, but
Mm,
personally, my songwriting class focused on structure
mm,
first. So that, yeah, so just, but it was more towards the pop
oh,
genre. So
hmm
I think it kind of shifts depending on the genre that you choose in terms of the lyrical form. But we looked at other songs that were in like the top 10, the Billboard top 10, that were, the
yeah,
hits that were coming, and we looked at their form and their rhythmic, I don't know, how the rhyming scheme.
hmm
I think it personally, I don't think it was emotional. The class that I was in, it wasn't really focused lyrically. It was just, yeah, on the form.
when you is there a takeaway from those classes that you actually used to create a structure that you could fit your lyrics in? Do you felt that you took something away from those classes which actually enhanced your ability to create material?
Honestly, for that class, I don't think so. I think I got more
Mm,
out of that class by the questions I asked the teacher,
mm,
because he had a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and his stories about him, like in the industry as a songwriter. I got more out of that than
mm.
the lyrical structures that he was talking about, if that makes sense.
No, no, totally.
Um, Still a good class, just yeah.
Up to now, you primarily have written songs by yourself. How do you feel a collaboration would work? Would you welcome something like that?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think that's the way to improve. I
Right,
think working with somebody else, especially someone else that's better than you,
right.
yeah, would love to co-write. I think it's so important to understand like someone else's process in writing, to compare it maybe to yours, to try different things,
Right.
pick their
Well,
minds. But yeah,
you're going to
definitely.
do that when we go in the studio.
Oh yes. Oh,
So,
I look
as
forward to that.
mentioned, that next year we're going to do Kalena's first record, and we've already gathered an all-star band and great arrangers and co-writers, and everything. It's going to be a wonderful thing. But right now we're in this pre-production process where we're just enhancing. We're enhancing Kalena's ability to create more material based on her personal adventures, if you will, and her personal life experiences. And some of them can be fun, some of them can be filled with whimsy, other can be sad, some can be educational. So, doing the pre-production process for making a record is often a very solid learning experience. And I don't know about you, but I certainly have had fun with that so far.
Oh, me too. Yeah, definitely.
And we talk
I
about
think it's
everything,
one of the
you
best
know.
parts. Yeah, yeah, we have.
And it's the thing that's so important to me is the level of trust between an artist and a producer. There's many different types of producers. I am an artist producer. I'm not what they call a producer hyphenate, which is producer engineer or producer songwriter or producer musician. I'm just solely focused on my artist, and I think that the trust that we gain from just meeting once a week will stand in good stead to when we go in the studio, which is new for you at this level. You know, and so we want to make sure that there is a level of comfort and trust, and that allows you to make big mistakes, because I always tell you to make big mistakes.
Mm.
That's my thing. The bigger, the better. There's no such thing as perfection in our business, um, despite everybody else's point of view. So I want to ask you a question, because the record business is so uncertain. Tell me about a little bit about how you see the record business or the music industry where you live.
Um, I think in Australia, yeah, the music business is different than it is in America. Um, I don't know if that's just my experience
Hmm.
from here, being in Sydney. I think it sort of feels like you're watching a volleyball game, but you're meant to be playing, but you're on the sideline, kind of watching everyone.
Hmm.
At least yeah, that's how it feels living in Sydney. And I don't know, going to America, I'm like more immersed in it. But yeah, I feel
So,
like so far away.
so you're saying essentially there may not be as much opportunity in Sydney or any of
Yeah.
the other cities. You're more immersed immediately, in the U.S., because you find that more fertile ground for you to kind of explore songwriting and singing and performing.
At least in my experience, I felt as soon as I went to Berkeley, um, even when I met you in LA, just being just surrounded by people and listening about, I don't know, learning about the projects that they're working on or that they're
Mm.
putting together. I just maybe I just haven't been more immersed in the industry here in Sydney, but I just felt like when I was around all these people, I could do anything. Like, and the
Mm.
people's dreams just seemed to be so much bigger, and it was really healthy to be around people like that. And to have, oh, we can just go to New York, and it's, I don't know, that's crazy to me. Like, yeah, let's just go to New York and film a music video. Let's just do this. I don't know. It's just the opportunities are endless. Like,
It sounds
I
like there
loved
was
it.
a lot of spur of the moment activity which kind of enhanced
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're trying to do. I love that part of it. Uh, do you consider yourself more of a live performer? Do you love performing on stage? Are you more kind of a songwriter slash recording artist? What do you see, or all three, all of it?
I love all of it, but I personally like performing live. I don't know, you can't, I just, there's something so raw about it compared to being in a studio. I've never been in a studio like the one that we will be in next year, but I just, even just filming, myself singing over my phone, it's not as organic. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I love the adrenaline that picks up when you first get on stage, the first word that you're going to sing, the first note. It's different, and it goes so quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, that live performance.
The anticipation is for a long time. The show ends up in 10 seconds.
I know.
It's crazy.
And all that work that you did, no one will have.
So you're a young artist. This is going to be your life. But you, as an intelligent young woman, are seeing the devastation of our industry. And I know this is kind of an unfair question, but have you given any thought to how you're going to kind of work through the business? I know that it's not in Sydney where you want it to be, and it may be in other places like New York or Los Angeles or whatever. But have you given any thought to how your life is going to be as a young artist who is embarking on a career? I know it's a toughie.
I think it is a tough one, but it's something that I think a lot of people can kind of just put their head in the sand, because personally, just so far, the music industry seems to be like a very unstable profession to go into. You're like, I don't know, we spoke about this a few weeks ago, maybe, about how there's something so satisfying about getting a check at the end of the week, constant money that's coming through to support you. There's something so satisfying about that a lot of people in the industry don't have, because it's different. You might have to work 3 or 4 different jobs just to, stay afloat.
But this is your
I don't
life.
know, but it is my life, but I kind of like that because
security.
I've just got an office job recently, and I think, yeah, security, but I like change. I don't like doing the same thing and being so confined. I know you might seem all over the place if you're doing this project here and you're teaching here and doing this gig here, but it never gets old. It's so exciting to me. Maybe after a while it might get frustrating if you're not, if you can't make enough to support yourself. But don't you think that's fun? Like it's not like the regular job.
It's there's a wonderful freedom to that. And my problem, of course, is that I don't really know how to play well with others. I don't really have a knack for working for someone else, So I like to create my own ideas and somehow find a way to execute them. I do like the freedom of that. Of course, there's something eminently comforting to know that you're going to get paid every 2 weeks or every month, which I've never had. And so, but I don't know any other way other than, let's work with these amazing people and develop these relationships, and hopefully they'll endure. I mean, as I mentioned to you before, I don't want to do your first record. I want to do your 21st record, but we want to make sure that you have ultimate choice. My philosophy is that you have the choice of doing what you want, working with whom you want, and creating with whom you want. And I think that level of freedom allows you to spread your wings. And, because you're a young artist, you'll be thrust, whether you like it or not, into becoming a role model. And, I just wonder, you've kept your blinders on really well and focused on doing these type of things. You're not a party animal, or at least if you are, you're not telling me. Thank you very much for that. But you know what I mean? You've got to have some sort of a discipline and focus in order to be an artist. Sometimes even more discipline, even more focus than having a regular job, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think you have to be you have to believe in yourself to keep going, because you have to make a lot of sacrifices to do this. And you have to expect, I don't know, hell, I guess. But uh,
Well, you've got to go through one side to get to the other side. So whatever you want to call it,
yeah. Mm.
if you had any advice for a singer that is kind of beginning their career, kind of like you, based on what you've done before in your private life, based on what you've done at Berkeley, what would you say to somebody?
Um, is there
Don't,
someone who's younger than me or
yeah,
just,
someone who's younger or the same
yeah,
age, would you say things like, you know, don't give up on your dreams, don't pay
of
attention to what
course,
people
yeah.
think, follow your own path? I mean,
Well, I would say don't give up, but more so don't try to be anyone else either.
mm,
Don't you can have idols and have people that you aspire to be like, but don't try and replicate their
right,
journey. Just focus on your own and focus on becoming or growing more into who you are and understanding who you are and becoming strong with who you are. Don't let other people dictate what you have to do or who you have to look like, what songs you have to sing, because there's something so unique about an artist who's just so different. And if you don't, but if your different is based on someone else or someone else's sound, I don't think you're ever going to
right.
survive. You have
You
to know who you are. You know
you
what I
want to
mean?
be authentic. You want to be the authentic you.
Of course. But
Right.
that takes a lot of courage, I think,
I agree
to be able
100%.
to just embrace, yeah. I
I
think
think
that's
that,
something I wish someone told me.
well, you have to understand, of course, that validation has to come from within. It can't be as a result
Yes.
of people telling you how good you are. You have to believe in yourself to the point where if people don't like you, that rolls off your back. I think that
Exactly.
in our business, there's a tendency to be cruel, and
Hmm.
before being applauded. And I think that obviously having a good head on your shoulders and good responsibility, a good work ethic is most important. One of the things that I love about you is your ability and desire and commitment to doing the work. This is the thing. It doesn't often happen, quote, naturally. Yes, you may have a propensity for being a great singer or sticking with the piano, but man, oh man, you really have to believe in yourself.
Hmm.
You know,
Manifest it.
that's right.
Affirmations. I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's so. Let me just close by just asking you the question. I mean, given we talked a little bit about this, but given the state of the industry, and who knows what the state of the industry is, what now for you? Are we?
What
We're just gonna,
now?
what now for you? We're just gonna continue on our path to making you, an amazing songwriter, an amazing singer, an amazing performer, and you're just gonna keep going, right? I mean, that's what we're doing.
Definitely. And do you mean what now, just
Like,
with this project with
what's going
us,
to
or
happen to
just
you
in general?
in general? What
It's
now for
gonna
you?
happen to me, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I accept. I'm gonna embrace the change because I can't really foresee anything at during this time. I don't know. It's hard to make plans and put things in order when there's a
right.
big chance it could just be squashed by this pandemic we live in. But I think what now for me, I just want to get better. I want to improve. I
Good for
want
you.
to collaborate more. At this point in time, it's nothing long term.
Hmm.
I really want to live in America. I think that's something I want to live there, be immersed in it all. But at the moment, I just want to work on my craft, build, promote myself a bit more.
Develop
I
your
was thinking
brand,
of
if you will.
yes, definitely. I've been thinking about creating a website. It's actually something I wanted to talk about with you.
Okay.
But yeah, just this pandemic only happens once in a lifetime. I mean, I want to take, advantage of it and yeah, just get as good to work on more songs, prepare for
That's
when things kind of
that's why I'm loving
sorry, yeah.
you. You know, I love to hear you say things like that. Because you're not lazy. This
No,
is this is good.
I can't be, but not when it comes to music. At least not. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, obviously, we'll continue preparing for your recording and your eventual success. And all I can do is thank you so much for being with us from Sydney. And it is Friday afternoon here, Saturday morning for you. My best to your folks,
Yes.
and we will continue with our pre-production next week at our usual time. Yeah.
Yes, I look forward to it. Thank you so much for having me, Jeff.
Oh, my
I
pleasure,
really
darling.
enjoyed this.
We
Thank
will
you.
make sure that everybody knows about the new record that you're doing, and we'll try to encourage them to be as involved as possible.
Whew, I'm so excited for it.
You are the bomb, young lady. We will talk soon.
Thank you. I look forward to it, Jeff.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
See you shortly.
Bye.